गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना ब्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना ब्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री राधा कालचंद जी भगवान की जय। जय श्री नाम संकीर्तन की जय। This is Madhya Leela 8th chapter text number 260. So we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Madhya Leela chapter number 8, text number 260. So if you want to Google it, then just put CC Madhya 8.260. If you don't have it, just try to listen. It is very simple, and try to recite. ए मत दुई जना कृष्ण कथर से नृत्य गीता रोदन हैला रात्रि शिशे ए मत दुई जना कृष्ण कथर से नृत्य गीता रोदन हैला रात्रि शिशे ए मत दुई जना कृष्ण कथा रसे नृत्य गीता रोदन हैला रात्रि शिशे. So we will read the word to word meaning also. So a mata in this way, Dvijana, both of them, Lord Chaitanya and Ramanand Rai, Krishna Katha Rase, in the mellows of discussing topics about Krishna, Nritya Gita, in dancing and chanting, Rodane, in crying, Haila, there was, Ratri Sheshe, the end of the night. Translation. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai passed the whole night relishing the mellows of Krishna Katha, topics about Krishna, while they were chanting, dancing, and crying. The night ended. Really, two more verses. You need not recite, I'll just recite. दोहे निज निज कार्य चलिला विहने संध्या काले राय आसी मिलीला आर दिने. Translation. The next morning they both departed to perform their respective duties, but in the evening Ramananda Rai returned to meet the Lord again. Text 262. Ishtha Goshti Krishna Katha Kahika Takshana Prabhupada Dhari Raya Kare Nivedana. Translation. That evening, after discussing the topics of Krishna for some time, Ramananda Rai caught hold of the lotus feet of the Lord and spoke as follows. So, what he spoke, we will read that next time. We will recite prayers and then do some discussion. Please try to recite prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Dutta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhavaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam lingayate garam. Yatkrapadamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram. Welcoming all of you for this morning discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is a very vivid description going on, wherein Lord Chaitanya is meeting his close associate Ramananda Rai. Srimad Bhagavatam's most deepest discussion is there in the 10th canto, especially in the Panch Adhyaya. But more deeper than that is this chapter from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Mantirila 8 chapter. And somehow we are discussing it now. But we'll try to understand something more simpler, and we will see that here when the Lord and his devotee are meeting, they are doing something which is very common that we also do. But sometimes we may do things, but we may not know what is the reason we are doing things. So we will discuss that a bit today, that why whatever we do as rituals, why we do what we do, whatever we are doing, what is the purpose of doing that. Is there any logic behind that? Is there any reason behind that, or we just keep doing things as they are? So generally, if you visit any temple, maybe ISKCON temple, and or any temple as such, there are certain things that is done. One of the things that we do is we leave our slippers, we leave our shoes somewhere, and as soon as we come in the temple, we offer obeisances. Offering obeisance also are of various types. We offer first, as we come, we offer some obeisances, then we find Srila Prabhupada, then we offer obeisances to him. Then we wait for the Lord to give his darshan, and as soon as the darshan of the Lord opens, we offer obeisances. Now that also is obeisances, keeping the Lord. The Lord is on this side, but we offer obeisances that side. So why is this done? So this having any logic, any reason? And if it is, what is that? Then even further that, there are bells in the temple, and we ring bell. There is then in the temple we don't talk anything other than what is supposed to be talked about, glories of Krishna. Is they are discussing Krishna Katha, topics of Krishna. In the temple, we also dance. Why do we dance? When we dance, we raise our hand. Why do we do that? Um, if you go to any traditional temple, also back in the place where there are lots of temples, Bharat, there also you will find there is people offer varieties of things. For example, they offer incense. We also offer incense here. And then we saw the whole Mangalarti. There was Arghya, Dhupa, Deepa, Kandha, all that is offered. But that means we offer incense sticks, we offer a lamp, we offer flowers, we offer some water. So seems these are just rituals. And why should we just do some things which is just rituals? Is there any reason behind it? So we'll discuss something on that. So when there are two things, as yesterday also we heard, many of us were there for the lecture of His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. Maharaj was telling about ritual and spiritual. So ritual means, he defined it well. What is that? Ritual means that which is just being done without understanding the purpose for which we are doing it. So some people say they go to the temple, they will break a coconut, they will offer some um, agarbattis, some incense, some dhoop diya, and then they will say, we are done with our worship, and they will keep asking the Lord mm, a lot of things. So they do their rituals, And if you ask them, why are you doing this? If you ask your grandmother, grandfather, or very elder people back at home, they will say, keep quiet, just do it. They will not answer, they'll not be, may not be able to answer things logically. So then the ritual is being done without understanding the spirit. On the other side, there is some people, they say, we don't have to go to the temple, we don't have to go and worship the Lord. We are good with it. We are okay just with meditating on the Lord, and He's the right within a person. Every breathe, as we breathe in and breathe out, we are able to breathe in Lord. We are able to feel the presence of the Lord, and that's the reason we don't have to do anything else. So we have got the spirit, but will not do the rituals. So that is another extreme. One extreme is just doing the rituals and not knowing the spirit behind it, and another extreme is just having a mood of doing the right things but not doing anything in actuality. So Srila Prabhupada, he writes in the Bhagavad Gita one very beautiful statement. He says that religion without philosophy is sentimentalism or fanaticism. So that means if one just does the rituals without knowing the spirit behind it, the philosophy, then that is simply sentimentalism. Hare Krishna. Whereas Srila Prabhupada also says that philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Like someone just knows the philosophy, reads lots of books, understand lots of theory, but does not practice it in his life. That is simple mental speculation. Prabhupada used to say armchair speculation. That means you're sitting on the armchair, you keep moving. What is that? Rocking chair? You keep moving, but you're going nowhere. Right? So that's like philosophy. You know lots of philosophy, you know lots of fundas, but you don't know what is the application of it. As Prabhuji was telling yesterday, implementation of what we are getting inspired from. Right? So, I repeat, religion without philosophy is sentimentalism or fanaticism, whereas philosophy without religion is mental speculation. So there are lots of um, things that, as we said in the beginning, there are lots of rituals that we do. Like we are now offering some um, things, some arghya to the Lord, and that some process is done. But is that not having any scriptural basis, any philosophical understanding? It is having. We may not know, does not means it does not exist, right? So now, before we go into all that, we'll try to understand these two things a bit with an example, which I talked to some devotee the other day. So, um, like for example, if we have just the rituals without any philosophy, so there was a kind of a marriage going on, and no one knew what to do. And there was one old lady, she was the one who was knowing everything about the intricacies of those marriage. So she was just sitting on a big armchair, and then she was telling, okay, this has to be done, that has to be done. Okay, take this flowers here, take this things, all the sweets you have to make, what kind of rituals you have to do. And everyone was simply following the grandmother. She was knowing the things, the way it has to be done. But there were lots of sweets, when back in India they have big laddus, moti chur laddus, which they cook on the marriage. It's having three different colors: yellow, green, red, and it really is attractive. It may not be very, uh, it is tasty as well, but it is extremely attractive looking. So then those laddus were made, and all the sweets, and then because there were sweets, so there during the whole day there was a cat that was coming out there and was trying to eat the sweets. So as the cat was eating those sweets, so she told, hey, remove the cat because it's getting contaminated. But then the cat was coming back again, and as the cat was coming back, then she told, okay, do one thing, take a basket and put it upside down over the cat. So then the cat is trapped, but the cat is mewing and it is hungry. So then she told, okay, it's not auspicious to kill someone in such a nice, auspicious wedding. So we should feed that cat something. So daily during the wedding ceremony, it was morning, evening, afternoon, they were feeding something to the cat. And the wedding ceremony ended. They released the cat went away, and the ceremony was over. Now, after a few years, they again organized a marriage, the other ones. But by that time, this grandmother was dead, and now they were figuring out what to do. They just reminded themselves what all has happened, and they kind of made a list of what all did she say that time. So during marriage, what should happen? These many sweets have to be made. These many ingredients have to be brought. These pandits have to be called, and everything else. And they remembered also that there was supposed to be a basket. So then, and what was to be done with the basket? There was a cat. So then they found a cat. They kept the cat, and they put the cat under the basket, and they kept feeding the cat daily as a part of this marriage ceremony. So this is known as blind following. Just because everyone does it, I will do it. Just because it was done that time, it was done there, I'll do it. What is the philosophy behind it? Don't ask me. So this is not sustainable model. When we are talking about um, sentimentalism, this is where it takes to. So let us see the flip side of it. So there is a couple, and the wife says the husband that I am you are very dear to me, and I really love you. I'm appreciating you. I'm appreciating your presence in my life. And then that's fine. So next day morning, when the husband wakes up early in the morning, takes a shower, wears his suit and tie, and then is ready to go to the office. But the wife, if she is very well sleeping on the couch, on the bed, and says goodbye, that may not be an expression of affection and love, right? So although she may say, I care for you, love you, but that has to be also exhibited in terms of some activity. So back, you find mother, they may not keep telling that I love you, beta, I love you. But then as soon as the son is going somewhere, if you have a 5 a.m. flight, you're going at 3 a.m., she will be there to cook something. If he goes there, where will he get the prasadam? So then she will do that. That need not be told, but that is done. That's known as the ritual. That means the activity also has to be done as a exhibition of one's affection. So is that affection has to be exhibited? May not be, but it has to be expressed, right? So so both things go parallel. So that means simply the spirit is not complete and sufficient. Simply the ritual is not complete and sufficient. Thus, what we have to do is spirit and ritual makes the whole thing spiritual. So that's what we do when we serve the Lord. There are multiple things that we do when we serve the Lord. So any idea why do we when we come to the temple, why do we put off our shoes? Huh? So how is shoes not, you know, is polluting the sanctity? So according to, now go back, now the place where we walk, that is um, having lots of contaminated things. There are lots of animals, lots of living entities. Sometimes they die, and sometimes they have their uh, byproducts, which is there everywhere. When we walk anywhere outside, so that may get stuck. That's the reason, before coming to temple, whatever is protecting our feet, the lowest part of the body, that is which we call as shoes, that is to be kept aside. That keeps the sanctity of the temple and the cleanliness of the temple intact. Then, as soon as we enter the temple, there is something which we ring the bell. Traditionally, there are bells in the temples. Why is that? Wake up the Lord. Lord, you are sleeping. Come on, wake me. Why do we have the bell? Who should become conscious, me or the Lord? So, for that, why is the bell needed? Okay. Exactly. When we go to someone's house, ring the bell. What happens then? They open their door. The door is already open. You're already in this house. But what happens is, whatever that person is doing, he focuses his attention onto the person who is ringing the bell. So way back in Lord Ram's times, also there was a big bell, which anyone who wanted justice from Lord Ram, he would ring that bell, right? So like that, we are ringing the bell, and we request the Lord, लीजो खबर हमारी राधे श्याम 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 थाड़े. We are standing at your dwar, we are standing at your place, and please, kindly glance over me. That's the reason we ring the bell. If there is no bell, you're not able to see the bell, then we knock the door before entering, and we seek for the uh, attention of the Lord. Lord is always attentive, but we want him to. Lakshmis in Vaikuntha are cleansing the pillars which are made up of emeralds and sapphire with with a expectation that maybe the Lord of Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu, he will glance at us, merciful glance. So we should also look forward in a way that the Lord can glance over us. So that's the reason we kind of, before entering, we knock the door or we ring the bell. And generally, if you see traditionally in the temples, the bell is not at this height, it is at a higher height. Why is that? Is there any logic? Is there any reason? Or is just incidental? What do you say? You thought about it? It's not, you'll never find, even the kids, they will have a hard time jumping, and then father has to pull him up, and then, I did it. So, why is that? It is an expression of our submission and surrender. Because when you raise of hands, that means what? We are actually exhibiting to the Lord that I am having nothing with myself. I am coming empty handed. And here, that's the reason it's there at the top, right? So we ring the bell, and the bell is generally made up of, all the bells that we ring, it is made up of brass. So it's having a potency, it creates an ethereal sound that actually makes the whole thing very auspicious. Additionally, as soon as we come, we offer Panchang Pranam, we offer obeisances to all the Vaishnavas, and we recite a prayer. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. You may not remember the verses right now, but the understanding is the devotees are desire fulfilling tree and ocean of mercy. They are full of compassion. So that's why I offer my obeisances. Right? We kind of bow down at the lotus feet of all the devotees as soon as we enter the temple. And we then find the most important Vaishnava who is there in the temple. That's Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada being the founder Acharya, you will find in all the temples, even in all the centers, this picture. Right there, either opposite or on one of the sides of the Lord. And when we offer obeisances to any person and deity of the Lord or the Acharya, so that personality on the left hand side, because our heart is towards the left hand side. So we are offering our heart, not just an external exhibition of offering obeisances. So we actually bow down, and for males we kind of do a dandavat, dandavat. So here also, as soon as Ramananda Rai saw Lord Chaitanya, he's offering obeisances, and that's not like, he's thinking like you cut a tree, so the tree does not think, should I fall this way, should I fall halfway, should I fall or not. It's just dhadam falling. That is known as dandavat. Vat means just like, and danda just like a stick. So stick falls straight, so like that we offer obeisances straight. So that means we are actually um, surrendering our everything. Manasa dehogiha jo kichu more arpiro tvapade nandakishore. Whatever I am having, my mind, my body, my whatever I think is mine as proprietor, everything, jo kichu more, whatever I feel is mine, arpilo, I am offering it to you, tvapade, at your lotus feet, Nandakishore, that is Krishna. That's the mood with which we offer obeisances. And then when we offer obeisances, we don't just lie down out there. We chant prayers. We kind of meditate on the Lord, and we offer obeisances as if touching his feet, just like Ramananda Rai touched the feet of Lord Chaitanya. And then there are multiple things that's happening. If you see within the altar, you'll find there is Pujari who's offering, flower right now. So there is, before that in the Mangalarti, you saw there are multiple things that is being offered. So there are so many things that is being offered. So what is the meaning of each of that? So when the incense is offered, what is the meaning of that? What is the implication of that? Any idea? Any thoughts? Why do we offer arati? We have been offering since childhood. Any thoughts? Why do we do that? So yes, exactly. So you're not killing the emotions, you are burning off the ego. Which ego is that? The false ego, right? Perfect answer. Any other thoughts? So if you see incense is the earth element. So there are 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. All of that is being offered to the Lord within that 20 minutes, 25 minutes that is being done. So first of all, the conch shell is blown. Why is the conch shell blown? Conch shell purifies the ether. Now we have, conch shell is actually a bone, right? Cow dung is actually dung, but both of that is extremely pure. They're right there in the altar. The conch shell is there, and whenever you want to purify anything which is contaminated, you put cow dung, right? So this is Shastra. This is what, any other bone we cannot take it inside. It's contaminating. Any other dung we cannot use. Only cow dung. So even when sometimes Abhishek is done of the Lord, says Panchagavya, all of that is offered to the Lord. Go mutra, the go arka, that's all offered. Cow dung also is offered. So when we blow the conch shell, traditionally in every village, there used to be a small temple back in India. So each village was surrounded. At the center of that was a temple. And when the arti or the offering of the Lord would happen, then they would blow the conch shell. So everyone, whatever they would do, they just leave their things and would come to simply participate. Oh, it's the Lord's being honored, so we have to be there present. Just like all of us came early in the morning, leaving our sleep aside. That's how we should be understanding what that's the meaning of the conch shell. So come on, everyone, come in, something important is happening. Just like when the king would come, dang, 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 they would play, something important is happening. So, like that, here, the super king is here. And when they would blow the conch shell, so everyone has to come and participate. Then we have, as soon as conch shell is blown, after that, there is incense being offered. So, that is the earth element. Earth element produces very beautiful fragrance, and that is burnt, and along with that the bell is rung. Bell is rung means it's an ongoing arati going on. So you be focus your all consciousness towards the deity. Shut down your screens, shut down your other thoughts, and just filter everything. And just, you see, the lightings also are put in a way that nothing else is primary of importance. It's only the Guru and Krishna, right? And then we have um, diya, that means dhupa, and then deepa. Deepa means the ghee lamps. So this ghee lamps that's offered, that is the fire element. So the fire element, when it's burnt, so traditionally also, in the if you go now also to the traditional temples back in South India, then they will offer the ghee lamps, and with that only you can see the face of the Lord. There is no artificial lightings there. So the Lord's beautiful darshan we can have by offering the ghee lamp also. Additionally, when we offer the ghee lamp and it comes back, so then we should honor it, we should take it. What is the mood that this lamp has been offered to the Lord, and this will be now available to me, so let me take the warmth of it and put it on my head, put it on my eyes, and just let the whole consciousness be bathed with that, and let the true ego come out. True ego means I am Nitya Krishna Dasa, I am the eternal servant of Krishna, and I am not any of this upadhis, varieties of labels that I have put against myself. None of that is me. So that is the prayer when we actually take the warmth of the ghee lamp. And then there is arghya, that means the water is offered. So water is offered to the Lord, that's the water element that is offered. So it's not normal water, it is Ganga water. Water with is mixed with some drops of Ganga, so that becomes Ganga. And then additionally there is some incense, that means rose water is put there generally. So then when that is offered, it's offered in a particular way. All of these things are offered in a circular way. So circular way it is offered, and it's offered like in a particular time, times to the Lord. That means um 7 times to the whole body, 3 times to the 4 times to the lotus face, 3 times to the lotus feet, 2 times to the waist. Like that it goes very wonderfully. So that's why it looks also so wonderful, and it is so nice to do that service as well. So when that is done, that's also that means you're offering the water element. And just after you offer water to someone, someone in your house comes as a guest, and you give him some water to wash his hands or his mouth or whatever. After that, what does he want? A kind of a towel. So then that's the cloth. The next thing that is offered is the cloth. So with that cloth, we offer, the next services by the cloth. And after that, we offer gandha, pushpa. So that means it is having very nice fragrance. So Prabhupada used to say we should offer only those flowers that is fragrant, and then that is offered to the Lord. Of course, the Lord is already having lots of garlands, but additionally we offer 6 times in the day. This things, this kind of offerings are made, pushpa, and that is again. So whatever is offered to the Lord is available to the devotees who have assembled, right? And as the pujari is offering, it's not that he is doing the worship, it's anyone who is there in the temple. Everyone is worshipping, and the pujari is doing that worship on their behalf. That's the mood. So then, when that is all offered, after that, next thing that is offered is the chamara. This chamara, if you see, it is written in English, it seems like camera. But the correct way of pronouncing is chamara. So chamara is made up of a tail of yak. The hairs which is there on the tail of yak, which you will find in the Himalayas, right? So this is a special thing which is offered. Even if you go, to the Guru, what is that, Gurudwaras, there also they offer this chamara to the Granth Sahib. You go to some Makbara, there also they offer chamara to the, to those places. So we offer chamara because when there is chamara being offered, then um, any kind of insect which may get attracted to the flowers of the Lord, they will not remain there if you just offer the chamara. That's the scientific understanding. And additionally, after that, we offer peacock feather. So that's the fan of the Lord. So when we have fans, then we have a fan that is made up of iron. Prabhupada used to say, you're offering, like we organize big Rath Yatras, the cart festival. Then such a big Rath is made up of Lord Jagannath. But then devotees, reporters were asking, why do you have such big carts? So Prabhupada would say that when you may move from one place to another, you may use some iron carts, iron chariots. But when the Lord moves, he has golden chariot. You may not be able to offer him golden chariot, at least offer him wooden chariot. That's traditional. So Akshaya Tritiya is the day from where the beginning of the chariot is made in Jagannath Puri, and Prabhupada brought that festival to all over the world, right? So that's the opulence of the Lord. He is the master. He is the proprietor of everything. So why not give him the best? So um, so we have the feather. So that feather is, we don't offer a normal iron feather to the Lord. Iron fan to the Lord. We offer, when the Lord wants to have some air, we offer him peacock feather. And it is very personal. Sometimes when it is very cold, so then we don't offer peacock feather, because Lord is already feeling, we deal with that deity just like he is, um, a person, and a person may feel some emotions, some, weather changes, all of that we deal with him in a very personal manner. So the Lord is not light, the Lord is not just sound, the Lord is not an impersonal feature. The Lord is right there, person. You want to see how he looks like? This is how he looks like. You want to see how is the color of his eyes? That's the color of his eyes. You want to see what's the way, he stands? This is the way he stands. And then if you want to see how he dances, that is the way he dances. So this is Lord whom we worship. Now, the why is it that we generally do not um, have faith on all this? So sometimes people don't put faith just because they don't know it. No one explained to them, right? Another reason people don't put faith because they have fear of unknown. Some people practice some sets of religions, and they feel, if I don't do it, then there will be problems in my family. The shaitan will come and he will destroy everything, whatever. So the fear of unknown makes people do some rituals, but they don't want to know the spirit behind it. And they also have social pressure. If I don't do it, what will people think about me? Everyone is doing it. So, or they may do some mundane piety. Let me go and do it just because it is supposed to be done. and my family rituals must go on, otherwise the traditions will go away. That's a bigger anxiety than actually doing that, activity. Just because it should be continuing, they continue doing it. So that is all mundane or family traditions, a habit from childhood. So sometimes people end up doing lots of rituals without understanding its mahatva, without understanding its importance or significance, because it's because of some of these reasons. So similarly, one may wonder, like Prabhupada was when he came to the West, and after that the Krishna consciousness movement took a wonderful shape. So Prabhupada, he started, you know, making temples in the Western world. Prabhupada started purchasing already built properties and transforming that to temples. Many times it was big, big churches or big, big mansions, and Prabhupada would just transform that to a temple. This place was also transformed to a temple. I heard it took 2 years for the whole thing to make. Previously, there was a hall at there, and that's where the temple was, and eventually that was shifted. So this all wooden work was done, and then the whole thing shifted. So similarly, and in various places in the Western world, Prabhupada just took various places and transformed that to temple. Back in India, Prabhupada constructed temple. We have got Vrindavan, and then Juhu, and we have Mayapur also somewhere. Yeah. So that's Samadhi of Prabhupada. But we have Mayapur temple. So all of that, 5 temples Prabhupada personally, ended up, I mean, before he left making. So one was Calcutta, Mayapur, Hyderabad, Juhu, and Vrindavan. Additionally, Delhi was, Prabhupada was working on that, but ultimately it took lots of time. So, in the sense that, the temples are made. So then the reporters asked, why do we need a temple? There are already thousands of temples. Why do you need to have your own type of temple? Interesting, right? Already so many temples are there. Why don't you go and do some things there? Why do you are creating temples? Any idea? Prabhupada replied very interestingly. He told, well, if, uh, you know, are you married? He told, yes. Do you have your own sons and daughters? Do you have your own children? He told, yes. Then why do you have your own children? There are so many children who are not having father and mother. Why don't you adopt some? So then that fellow was like taken aback. What kind of answer was that? So Prabhupada was special in answering this kind of questions. So the understanding is that the temples can be there, but then the way, like this Bhagavatam classes and the way we have Darshanarti, the Guru Puja, we need a setup. That's why Prabhupada created facilities. So the Guru provides two things. The Guru provides guidance and the Guru provides facility. So Prabhupada gave guidance through his books, through his lectures, through his letters, through his personal association, through his conversations. And Prabhupada created facility for the devotees to practice. By that, he made institution, he made the governing body commission, he made temples, he made systems, he made policies, he made um, the whole morning program, and he made the whole systems by which the services of the lordships can be done. And that's how the legacy can be continuing in a generation after generation. So this is the reason why we do what we do. If we are doing anything without knowing the reason, then we will also become blind followers. We are not looking here for blind followers. We are looking for people who are conscious of everything that they are doing. Everything is meant for Krishna. So each and every activity that we do in Krishna consciousness is meant for serving Krishna personally. There is nothing that is done as a part of unknown thing, or I'm not knowing but still I'm doing. That will not last long. It may last, but it may not transform our heart. And if heart's not transformed, and even if we keep moving our hands and legs, what's the big deal? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions? Any thoughts? You have the microphone? Should I transfer? Pass it down? By the time they bring it, you can use this one. Oh, good, quite fast.
Yeah, so if someone is having a very strong faith in Guru and Guru's instructions, do they still need to understand detailed logic behind everything that is given in the instruction by the Guru, or they can simply go by faith in Guru?
So we may have faith on the spiritual master, the Guru, and that faith should also be backed up. Jai Shri Radha Kalchan Ji ki jai. Pantai ki jai. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we may have faith on the Guru, still what prohibits us to not know the logics? So for example, you know, there are devotees who came from Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam to serve Tirupati Balaji here in the West. Some devotees, Sri Vaishnavas. And they had the faith without knowing the so many deep insights of all the rituals that they do. They continued doing that. But you know what? The next generation, when they started asking questions, why do you do what do you do, and they did not have the answers, then the legacy cannot pass on. So it may be okay for ourselves that I have deep faith on my Guru and that's why I'll do what is to be done. But then we should also have satisfying, logical, reasonable answers to people, inquisitive minds who ask. Because the innocent people, when they ask, and if you say, don't ask, just do it, then we have also become the same people who are and just because this person told, or just because my Guruji told, you should do it, that may not be satisfying to him as it is satisfying to us. So then we have to be careful to understand it also and have deep faith on the spiritual master and the Guru's words also. Make sense? Any other thoughts? The questions, comments, queries? Yes.
So, Prabhu, a follow up to that is sometimes what happens is that maybe someone has a question and the answer given may not satisfy them at that point of time. And then sometime later, maybe the same answer satisfies them. What is the difference between these two moments?
Yeah, very nice question. So, sometimes what happens is we are asking a question or having some doubts in our spiritual life, which we may ask, but we may not get a satisfying answer. What should you do with that? So, one option is, just because that particular doubt is troubling me, I will take all my spiritual practices and aspirations and put all of that into trash just because that doubt is not resolved. That's not a good response. Or we go and find people who don't know answers to those doubts and ask them, and they also become confused. Oh, true, this doubt is so important. This doubt is more important than my chanting, my practicing, my doing things. So then I have become confused and I confuse 5 people more. Service unto them. On the other side, that's also not a good response. What could be a good response? 2 options. 2 things which we should not do, I told. 2 things which we could do, I'm saying. So first thing that we can do is go and ask a person who knows. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanena tattvadarshina. Go to a tattvadarshi, person who knows things as it is, and then ask him submissively, inquire, and with a mood of service. Now he may give some explanation. So after that, there are two options. Option number one, you are satisfied with that explanation. Option number two, you are not satisfied. Possible? Even if you are not satisfied, you have got still two options. Option number one, go to someone else. And maybe that clarification could be more scintillating to your heart than the previous one. Both could be Tattvadarshi, but then they can say the same thing in different ways and it can satisfy heart accordingly. Till the time you get your satisfaction, you can ask, keep asking. But then, even if you keep asking, sometimes because we do not have certain realizations in spiritual life at the practice that we are doing, we may not get, synced in with the answer. Then, what should we do? Just because the doubt is troubling me, I should not take all my Jai Shri Radha Kalchanchi ki Jai. Wonderful to keep paying obeisances. So, just because that doubt is troubling me, I should not take all of my practice and put it at bay, but I should try to keep that particular doubt in cold case. Keep that doubt in a cold case. Keep it on Karpak. And keep continuing practicing your spiritual life. And then one fine day, you will get that eureka. You will get simple instance which you may be doing a regular way. Just hearing a Bhagavatam class or just cleaning the pots or just associating with a devotee and he just utters something which is just answering a question which you had 3 years back. So that is a devotional response. So we should not respond to if just because we have some dealing with the doubt. How should we deal with the doubt? The doubt we can always what we should not do, just because of that one doubt, we should not keep everything of Krishna consciousness. So many things, as I told yesterday, transformation is a testimony. This process works. We have been transformed. That is a testimony that this process is wonderful. First thing. So just because of this one doubt, we should not put everything at bay. Second thing, we should not go and do a spillover of those doubts to people who are innocent, who may not have the proper way of answering those questions. So we should not just create more doubts on the people just because we have got the doubt. What we should do, we should ask people who know and keep asking till the time we get a answer. If we are getting repetitive answers, then we have to understand, and if we are not satisfied, then we have to understand that we have to work on ourselves. So let me chant a bit more, let me hear a bit more, let me read a bit more and spend some time purifying my own consciousness, then I will get the adhikara, the capacity to handle the answer to those questions. And then till that time, keep your question on Karpak. Don't get bothered by that question. That's how we deal with doubts. Yes, Prabhu, you should answer, please. Prabhuji will contribute to the answer. Please give the mic.
Thank you, Pankaj Prabhu. Once there was a question brought up to Srila Prabhupada, and he said, look, maybe none of us can answer this question. He said, but what you should do is chant Hare Krishna, go back to Gada, then you can ask Krishna.
Transcendental answer. Because when one achieves spiritual consciousness, then that is Sat Chit Ananda. So while you get the Sat, that means you're actually understanding the truth. Chit means eternity. Ananda bliss. So then you get to know everything that you're supposed to know. So if you can wait until then, as Prabhuji gave the guidance, quoting Srila Prabhupada, then all glories. Any other thoughts? Should we end? Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Gopa Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hey, while I have all of you together, I just wanted to tell you, both here and in our Houston community, we have a whole community development program and team. For example, we have one devotee here. He's got a big construction company. He said anybody that wants to move here and seriously practice Krishna consciousness, he said he'd be happy to build a house. Like now you can see houses are what, $800,000, $900,000. He said with his construction company, he could build a house for like 250, 300,000. He said he wouldn't make a penny from any devotee that wanted to live here, and he'd help them by building a house for them. Plus, we have the school. You know how sometimes you're tired, you don't want to cook. We have the restaurant. We have great classes like today. Wasn't the class great, you guys? Thank you. Yeah, and we have so many activities for kids and the festivals. Like our Rath Yatra this year, we had about 40,000 people attend. These are wonderful celebrations, you know, really wonderful. And same thing within Houston, my god brother Sham Sundar Prabhu, he's turned over the temple manager to a bunch of young people. You know, we really need you guys. Don't feel like we don't need you. We're all getting old. Like I'm the baby around here and I'm 62. So yeah, think about it. Think about it. Same thing with the Houston community. Beautiful project. If you haven't visited, that would be a nice like field trip for you guys. They have a beautiful restaurant. The temple is like something out of India. Have you been to Houston? The whole temple facility like covers 20 city blocks. Plus they have a 20-acre farm. Now we have a 7,000-acre farm that's producing all the produce for the restaurant, for this temple, Houston Temple, and food relief also. But the Houston project covers 20 city blocks. This project covers like 2.5 city blocks, so imagine 20 plus the farm. You know, the deity of Krishna in Houston, Radha and Krishna, the deity of Krishna is 1,000 kilos of black marble, and his eyes are made out of jewels. But keep that, as an option for you guys. You're going to get out of school soon. You're going to wonder what to do, where to go. Well, remember, Krishna's here, and he's really happy to help and bring, us all together like this. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
पाभरौ भुवि भुव भारा तारक वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगो श्री जीव गोपालक वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगो श्री जीव गोपालक कृष्ण कीर्तन गा